Hi, Captain, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christopher Witecki. Nice to see you again. We are chugging along through Pisces. This week, this horoscope has been brought to you by Lightcast Boot Camp. This is the class that we teach at Soul Garden on how to manifest realities from our AMIT School of Manifestation. It's all of our Jedi minds put together in the formula for spiritual success. It is a formula. It is repeatable. There's a new world around the corner. And watch the horoscopes to see just how much we have our thumb on this. But there is a new world around the corner, and if you want to be a player in the new world, if you want to be a leader in the new world, take this class now. We even finance it, so you have no excuses. And I do want to invite you down to our mothership, soulgarden.me. We are building a community of the most remarkable souls on the planet, living their brightest. If you want to hang out and rub elbows with the bright ones, come on down. At least register so we can send you an email. We got all sorts of resources down there for you. Office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've got the Love Lounge where you can come chat and hang out and listen to inspirational music, where you can learn more, you can buy classes. I mean, it just goes on and on. We are your best friend. And we even have writers down here. Queen Mary is writing about Schoolhouse Rock. She's excited to go back to school, she says. Sounds like a Capricorn. Capricorn would get excited to go back to school, probably getting all of your supplies bought early. Very Capricorn. Now, speaking of the Capricornians, this month we are working on your intellectual state of awareness, and we're in Chapter 2 as we move into Chapter 2 this particular week. Now, as you know, you are a soul living on Earth incarnate, and one of the parts of you is your mind, your thoughts. All these thoughts racing on many, many levels, calculating information coming in, calculating, contrasting, and looking at, and devil's advocating, and coming to conclusions, and coming to attitudes, and filtering things, and not even paying attention to others. That's a huge thing to wrangle. In fact, I think the mind is the biggest problem we have as humans right now. We do not know how to manage our intellectual state of awareness. But it is something that works for us. Something that works for your heart. It's not something that you should be working for. And I certainly don't believe you have to have medication in the end. Maybe as a way to the end, but in the end, human beings were doing it for a long time without it. So where are we? On Monday, it's time to make a decision. The decision is, what do you want to step away from? What kind of thinking, what kind of attitudes, what kind of mind games, what kind of circular spirals, what kind of poor me worry stuff. You know, you Capricorns like to worry. It's a waste of time. If you did your research, there'd be nothing to worry about. If you had faith in yourself, there'd be nothing to worry about. All right? If you're plugged in, boot camp, there'd be nothing to worry about. Time to step away from that. At the same time, the moon is focusing on your inner child. So helping you through this is your inner child. You want to have fun. So the mind's got to go away. You know, the inner child really is the queen. It's what runs the soul. Our heart runs the soul. Our heart is what's boss. And if this peckerhead mind of yours keeps making it no fun, then get it in line. Tell the mind who works for the queen. All right? That's the way it is, and that's the way you're feeling. On Tuesday, we are shifting into action. So whatever you decided you want to act on Tuesday, you want to put it into motion, you want to put it into action, employ that new attitude, stop those thoughts. Action does mean stopping things from happening too. So you want to stop the thought. Nope, we're not going there. We're not thinking that. We're not wasting our time. And that is how you discipline your mind. You stop and rewrite. Every time you catch yourself doing something, you stop and rewrite. It's part of what we teach in boot camp to get on top of our soul. The moon is still in the focusing on your inner child on Tuesday, so you're still inspired by light as you're doing some of this work. Now, for those of you that I watch over personally in the Guardian Agency, I'll be sending personal text on Tuesday that go to your natal chart and talk about what it takes for you to take action and what inspires you to get up off the couch. So a little extra incentive there for those watched over. On Wednesday, we hold space, and this is where we're moving into Chapter 2. The sun's at 10 degrees, and whammo, look at this. A blessing from the universe, a soul pyramid in Earth, which is a grand trine. Now, this grand trine is going to only get tighter and more efficient as the week goes on, only kind of tighten the noose a little bit. But it's a good noose, because what happens when you have these complementary angles of planets is it represents that the soul begins to stir. The energy begins to flow, because these three states of awareness are hardwired for a period of time with the gravity disbursement of those planets. Now, what this means for you is, on the one hand, Jupiter and Taurus. The universe wants Capricorn's heart to grow, 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 grow. Okay? Basically, you control so many things on earth. There's no way we're getting to the age of enlightenment unless Capricorns are going to their heart as the resource of what to do next. No more Capricorns living just in their ego. Those are bad Capricorns. We don't like that. We want you to be ruled from your heart. That way your power leads to good for mankind. So your heart is opening up like a mofo on the one side. Then Pluto in your sign is killing off the old Capricorn story, killing off the way things used to be done. This is the part of you that is really regenerating and will regenerate. This is the part of you that's going to change the world right here, because your ego is making new decisions. One's based on what? The heart. But what has to happen? Mars retrograde. In order for this to pull off, for you to step in your heart and for you to let go of your old ego, you've got to change some of the way you believe. Mars retrograde says change some of the way you believe. Mars will continue to be retrograde for a while. You might have thought you knew everything. Mars retrograde says, nope, change some of the way you believe. Now, while this is all happening, this is like a yoga pose, the moon pulls your emotions now on this day into your body. So you're really starting to feel the bumps in the road and feeling what's going on. You're feeling it all on this particular day. So that's the way that rolls. Then moving on to the next day, on Thursday. Now on Thursday, the moon continues to make you hyper aware. You're hyper focused in your body and you're feeling every bump in the road. The noose tightens. Chiron rules the day on this particular day. And lo and behold, online comes Neptune. Neptune, 1 degree. For all those people out there who watch your horoscopes and stuff, Neptune hasn't done crap until today at 1 degree. That's my experience as an astrologer. That means that suddenly there is a DSL pipeline to God University. Neptune 1 degree means suddenly the universe is shouting from heaven, basically, and opening up these pipelines. This is after we move to chapter 2 in Pisces, so suddenly we are very divinely guided. Suddenly you're very divinely guided about thought. So suddenly you're very intuitively guided about thought. This is the beginning with Neptune and Pisces of Capricorns becoming incredibly psychic and becoming incredibly telepathic if you open yourself up to it. So interesting stuff. Then on Friday, things actually get a little closer. Look at this. The moon moves into Cancer, so your emotions on Friday shift to your relationships. They shift to marriages and partnerships. And look at this. It opposes Pluto. This is going to force a balance between your ego transformation and the needs of your relationships. This will keep your marriages from pulling you too off course or your ego from taking things too far. Okay? This is interesting. This is like the universe putting in a stint. It's very interesting. And Jupiter rules the day, so that means we're going to grow. So Friday is a real day of eye-opening. It's a real day of promise. It's a real day of maybe seeing the new attitude, or maybe getting a glimpse of the light, or seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Really, with the universe putting us through this. And don't forget, if you want a little extra credit, if you want to log into some interesting talk, join Carolyn Nagel and myself for our webcam radio talk show. I don't know what the hell it's called anymore. But it's called SG Live. And it's during our what we call prime time, which is at 9 a.m. Honolulu, all the way around the world to 7 p.m. London. Figure out where you sit in there, but come and join us, and we do record it. And we're having a good time. We're really starting to get this stuff rolling. Then on Saturday, this is where things just come to a total apex. I mean, you can't write this stuff. This is why I'm inspired by astrology, because this all happens brilliantly and hits like this major chord. This is what I call a holy shift. This is a day where there's so much going on, you just need to get out of God's way and stand still and let the earth shift around you. Now, first of all, Uranus rules the day. So that means we're going to have breakdown, breakthrough. Anyways, if none of these planets were dancing in these colors, we would have breakdown, breakthrough on Saturday, which means if there's something in the way of you seeing the light when it comes to a new attitude, you'll have a breakdown. So if your mind has a problem getting out of the mind games, it'll hit holy hell on Saturday to the point where you have to get out of it. You'll break down to break through. Or maybe you've already stopped the breakdown and now you're going to break through to the next level. When Uranus rules the day, God pushes up on the elevator and everyone goes up a floor if they're ready and they've done the work. Those who haven't done the work, smack down. That's the way it kind of works. So that's happening to start off. Then we have this pull between ego and relationships. So universe has got you kind of tied up there, keeping you from going too far. Then check this out. Another opposition on the bench here. We're being held by, and this is, look at this. Venus is 28 degrees and Saturn is 28 degrees. Saturn turned 28 on Saturday. Venus turned 28 on Saturday. They just came for this one moment. On Sunday, not going to happen. Amazing stuff, which is an amazing degree anyways. That's a master degree. But what this is the line, another line in your own inner universe, okay, between your desire to be out there in your career and your need to take care of yourself. So the universe is saying, all right, in this magic moment of holy shift, take care of yourself, watch your career, don't let your relationships go crazy, keep your ego in check, let's keep your inner child going, rewrite your beliefs, and change your ego. Go! I know, it's crazy, huh? Anyways, this actually inspired a new service we're going to do for the community that's sponsored by GA. It's called the GA Alert Network. Now, this is something where only when shift hits the fan, we'll send it with text. We'll probably have to put an ad inside of it to pay for it. So it's not the G agency we're watching over you. We don't know your date of birth. But we'll send you a warning when stuff like this happens. And all you got to do is send the text word GA text me to 96. Well, you can see it, 96362. And you'll get a little response, and then you're in the network. And we'll be sending out texts on Saturday saying, watch out, there's a holy shift going on. And it's just something we're going to do for you. And there might be advertising, just so you know. Then on Sunday, it's breakthrough time. On Sunday, we break through. This symphony starts to break up. The moon, the whole opposition with your marriage and your ego kind of chill out. This opposition with Venus is technically continuing, but it doesn't have its apex. And really, it's about breaking through. You should get by Sunday the intellectual state you need to stand in. You should get the intellectual attitude you should be employing. You should understand the type of language you should be using. You should kind of really get the direction you should be pointing your mind to. And you should, if nothing else, have disciplined your mind to tell it that it's just a smart ass that works for the queen or the king, which is your heart. Okay, that's all the mind is. It's just this smart ass that works for the royal family, which is your heart. So make sure at least you're there by Sunday. And you know, if you have problems with things like this, like wrangling your intellectual state of awareness, that is why we have created Lightcast Bootcamp. Just one last little reminder there as well. All right, Captain, that's all I have for this 7-day period, but I will see you in 7 more. Until then, hold space and live, love, be.